Thank you. What's the weather? Chinatown.
Post office? Curry Lighthouse. Butter chicken, tikka masala, Rogan Paul. The hell? Elites, the pub. Magnificent, inviting. There's Phil coming out to the loggery now.
Pretty good.
They say nothing grows on the gravel.
Yeah, what's Tom doing? You're a
He's a-
multifaceted human.
He's a fly.
I'm a fly.
Strong. Very strong foundation.
And then the sun sets. That's why you're getting tacos. Don't go too far.
Is going to be.
What? Shit. Really? You off it?
Yeah, but there's only two people that can stay. You know,
That's one room.
one room.
One room, 1600.
And I was bending down. Yeah. Otherwise, they take the heavy, and then it's a long one.
Net? Who's the net? So that's what it's before it dries out. That's what the curd feels like, and it's basically tastes like milk, basically.
I
cultures that we use on this product.
I so want to eat that. But
We're gonna get moving because they're only at the ground for 1 more hour and they're gonna wait for us in the case.
Beautiful colour.
what's that called?
That's it.
It's like the ginger beer.
I'm glad you got to
Nice.
brew.
I forgot you bought the
And they separate away and then the
The Norwegians and they were the
You look the same.
With its strong holdfast, the kelp plant attaches itself to rocks on the ocean floor. The waving, leathery fronds tend to be short and broad in the calmer waters, and longer and narrower in the rougher waters. Bull kelp doesn't float, it lies low, relies on the constant tossing and twisting of ever-changing currents to grow. The kelp grows in depths of about 2 to 10 metres. The shallow plants can be exposed at low tide. It takes rough, powerful seas to rip the kelp from its stronghold on the rocks and the strong currents to cast it ashore. Only 5 to 10% of cast kelp is harvested. Most plants decompose underwater or on the shoreline. Prior to kelp industry's operation, the kelp was left uncollected on the shoreline. This resulted in the unsightly appearance of our shoreline and the rich stink of rotting kelp that could be smelt in the main street of Curry. Harvesters make their way out over the slippery kelp to locate the stalk. This is the part of the kelp that attaches to the rock underwater. A rope is tied around it. The kelp is then winched onto the harvester's truck or trailer. Once at Kelp Industries, the trucks and trailers are backed up to the unloading racks. These are at a convenient height for unloading. The kelp is placed on an S-shaped metal hooks and hung onto poles. With the use of a loader, the poles of kelp are picked up from the unloading racks and placed on high racks that have been selectively positioned around the factory. Here it hangs for about 2 weeks, being naturally dried by the wind and the sun. The kelp, now dried by nature's elements, is ready for processing. Poles are once again picked up by the loader and moved from the high drying racks and placed undercover in the factory. The kelp is removed from the poles and dropped onto a conveyor belt, which feeds into a machine known as the breaker. Here it is broken up into small pieces, averaging 200 centimetres. It is now ready for further drying. The broken kelp pieces are put into a feeder, which transports the kelp to the dryer. The kelp moves along 4 belts, travelling from the top of the dryer to the bottom. The drying process takes about 4 hours. The dryer is heated to 75 degrees by a wood-fueled furnace. The furnace is fueled by waste timber that has been collected from around the island. The furnace burns up to 45 kilos of wood an hour and reaches temperatures between 1200 to 1400 degrees. Once the drying phase is complete, the kelp travels through a hammer mill where it is broken into very small pieces, is then shaken down through a series of screens where it is filtered off according to the size of the granules. The final 5 to 1 millimetre size product is bulk loaded to a weight of 22 tonne into shipping containers ready for shipment to Scotland. The 1 tonne bags are emptied into a hopper that feeds the kelp granules into the container. The 1 millimetre and under product, commonly known as full kelp fines, is bagged into 20 kilo bags or to customer requirements and sold around Australia for use in fertilisers and as additives to animal feeds.